Hey, this is Arlene. It is September the 5th, 2019. So, I wanted to talk about is when I, at least for me, when I get put to sleep, like I'm out for the count. Like I don't feel nothing. Like I'm out. The next thing I know is that my alarm is going off. I don't hear or feel anything. Now, I have YouTube videos from when I was living at California Villages in Pico Rivera. That's when I started videotaping myself off and on sleeping in frequencies. And I also did it using my thermal camera. And I'd say that was back in 2017 when I was living there. So anyways, what happened is that, and other people have seen it, but when you watch the video, you can see that there is another body underneath my blanket. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because I don't know if it's just someone under my blanket, or if when I'm put under asleep, if I've ever been had sexual intercourse with somebody I don't know. And I wanted to cover that because I'm asleep and people enter my apartment without my consent. However way they do, I don't know if I've been sexually violated. I have a feeling I have been. But again, I can't prove it. And I'm sure if they did do it, they probably used a condom and they cleaned up after themselves. But then again, I'm in a deep sleep. I don't know, but I have that feeling. Now, when I did the YouTube videos in 2017, you could tell there was somebody in bed with me. It wasn't every night, but it did happen. And then there was one video where I was asleep and you could actually hear someone in my kitchen. And at that time, I would go on calls, for PAX International, and there was a lady that would follow me on YouTube. And she messaged me and told me, she goes, like 2 hours and 40 minutes into your call, into your video, she says, you can hear someone in the kitchen. So I went on, that was on Periscope, I was doing it. So I went, and about that time, you could hear someone in my kitchen. I was in a studio apartment. It's pitch black, but yet you can hear someone in the cabinets, like you could hear the pots and pans moving around. So, it was a joke. I just say Houdini comes in because I have no way knowing how to get in, even here. And I'm not really trying to figure it out, but just to document anything that happens to me. So when I was at California Villages, there were a few times when I woke up and I was disheveled and had debris on me, which made me think that maybe I was taken outside. Again, I can't prove it or anything because I'm out for the count. I mean, hear nothing at all. That's why I decided to started videotaping myself asleep. It's not to catch anybody, but I just want to document that I'm sleeping in frequencies. And then also what happened when I moved there, I moved to Alhambra to El Rancho Apartments, and the same thing. You could see that there were a few times where you could see that somebody was in there, and even people made comments to me that they would call me up and say, "Hey, I seen there was somebody in bed with you," and there too gave no one consent. Don't know if I was sexually assaulted in my sleep. I have no idea, but I have never given anyone consent to enter my apartment when I'm asleep, and I've never given anyone consent to do anything to me sexually when I'm asleep. Now here, I don't know if it's going on or not. But I mean, it is gross and it's sick to, if you really want to dwell on it. But I don't. I'm just covering this like for documentation facts. It would be gross. Like, I know when I walk down the street, I see people at their posts, watching you with their cell phones or whatever they do. And a lot of them are just like cochinos. And it's just gross to know that the possibility is like some pervert is coming in here. But again, there's nothing I can really do about it, but just to discuss it and document it and let it be made known that I'm not giving anyone any consent to come in my apartment when I sleep or to do anything to me. Now also, I'm getting targeted in my private areas. Like this morning when I woke up, I already knew from head to toe I had been targeted really bad. And I know when they target, like especially my private areas, because the heat, not necessarily sexually, but I know when they do it because of the heat content that I get in the frequencies between my legs will be wet. Not wet because of something I peed or anything, but that's how intense the heat gets. And that's what happened to me this morning. Now, my private parts have been swollen. They got really, really swollen lately. And even in my, what do you call it? My rear end. So swollen, like it's as if I were constipated, but I wasn't. That's kind of gone down a little bit, but today, again, I was targeted in my private areas. So I just wanted to just get this video in and just document what's going on, because I'm not going to let anything slip by. As much as I can get and discuss, I will do it as far as what's going on, because that's the only tool that I have, is to just make known and share what goes on with me, and maybe it helps someone else to understand things. But that's why I have the YouTube channel. It's more designed for myself, but if it helps somebody or causes a conversation, that's really good. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure I get that documented. It's September the 5th, 2019.